Alrighty, welcome back. So I've been busy, kind of, sort of, but not really. Of course, when I took the cab off and slid it back by myself, not my brightest moment, the camera was in the house charging, so you don't get to see that, I guess. Probably just as well you didn't. Not my best or brightest moment. Anyway, moving right along. So, going to the wreckers tomorrow. That's why my one wheel cover's in there, so I can take and size it up. I'm looking for a set of 15-inch steel rims for it. Anyway, I went there today, different wreckers, and I got a set of headlight buckets. So you can see the ones that were on the truck were, well, broached, I guess is the nicest way I have of putting it. They were just shot. And I looked into buying new ones. So reproduction ones are $68 each, Canadian. So throw that in the scrap bin. So I went there today, and what I quickly realized was these are out of a Chevette. They use the same headlights. And as you can tell by the buckets, they are exactly the same headlight bucket. So these ones are really nice. And I'd have to check my receipt, but I think I paid $12 for both. So much more economical. Anyway, so I'm still trying to solve some of the missing pieces of the puzzle. Got our floor pan sitting there and all this stuff. So my primary goal at the moment is fixing up the couple things on the frame here, so that what I can do is I'm basically going to paint from the leaf spring hangers to here. I want to clean and paint all the frame rails on the top half, everything up top, so that once that's done, I can take the cab and put it back down on top of here, and I can actually mount it permanently. Get everything lined up and shimmed and everything, and that's it. I'm done. I'm not taking the cab back off. So that's my plan anyway. So while I'm in here, I'm going to pull the transmission off, probably pull the motor out of it too, so I can clean all that front half up, and it's a whole lot easier to do suspension work without an engine. I'm going to pull all these lines and wires and all this crap off here. Pull the exhaust system off. Pull the drive shaft out. Pull the fuel tank out. Pull off all the old park brake cables, all that stuff. And like I say, I'll clean all the rust and scale and crap, all of it off. I'll prime and paint all the frame rails inside and out. And that should get us a little bit closer to being able to deal with the cab and everything. Because what I'd like to do is put the cab back on and then do the floor pan in it. As you can tell, just looking at the frame here, with that transmission cross member out, I have pretty much complete access to the floor pan on this truck. So I might as well go ahead and do it that way. Because I'm going to drop the cross member, take the transmission out too. Because I want to get a new transmission mount and, I want to do the whole works on it, right? So we'll go ahead and at some point I'll do that in the next week or two. I want to keep everything mobile for the next week or so, because I got to swap the transmission in my Dodge, my Ram, and I'd kind of like to do it in here on a concrete floor rather than a cold driveway. So I should be able to do that probably early next week, and then after that I don't care. I'll tear everything all to pieces. That doesn't bother me. So we'll go ahead and do that. Probably tonight, what I'd like to do is I'm gonna go ahead and get the exhaust off the truck. and probably pull all these lines and stuff through. Surprised, but it looks like the truck mostly has its original brake lines. They're not in very good shape, so not that I was planning to reuse them anyway, but and it looks like the majority of the original fuel lines are still on the truck too, with the exception of the really butchered some of this crap back here. Obviously, when I talk about some of the frame stuff I want to fix, like this cab mount and box mount are shot. So this is some of the stuff I cut off that other truck. This cab mount shot. That one's shot. And this one's starting to go. So I might as well fix it while I'm here. Yeah. So we'll get stuff cleaned up and begin to accomplish things. So overall, I'm pretty happy because it looks like I can reuse all the exhaust. I'll probably scuff it up and just give it a coat of high heat paint just to protect it a little bit. But the only thing that I noticed so far is right here, the outlet of, well, I guess it'd be the inlet actually, of the muffler pulled out. But I mean, honestly, if I really want to, I could take and weld that back in the muffler. We'll see what a muffler is worth. The only other thing I'll have to do here, other than replace a few clamps, is put a piece of pipe in right here. But overall, can't complain. Now the good part is here, just out of curiosity, I took the drive shaft, because this is an Isuzu, or well, this is a Borg Warner. That's an Isuzu transmission, right? So this is a Borg Warner T4, which is actually from the 82 truck, this one, and was behind the 2.8 liter. So this is the output shaft I'm going to be using on my T5. Now, I figured just in case, of course, on my T5 right now I have a yoke, but I figured let's try the drive shaft. So I slid it in, and sure enough, exact same splines. So that's a good sign. It's a really good sign. The only thing I have to do is confirm the overall length of the transmission with the bell housing. That's easy enough. I just grab a tape measure and do that. So that's a good thing because I don't have to change the yoke, because the U-joints on this drive shaft are actually in excellent condition, and they are the original U-joints, because what GM used to do here is, rather than a retaining clip, they're coated in nylon. So I'll see if I can find a picture to put in here for you. I've done lots of them over the years, especially when I worked in GM country. But when I'd replace them, I'd have to basically torch these. So I'd heat them red hot with the torch, and all this nylon that's in here would melt out, and then you could actually take and press the U-joints out. On the U-joint cap itself, it has a recessed ridge that goes around it, and that's where the nylon's in. So when they put this together at the factory, they put everything in, like you see it here, and then they injected the nylon in there while it was a liquid, and then once it hardened up, boom, there you go, that's your clip. So when you replace them, you end up with usually inside retaining clips on each side of the cap. But yeah, I'll see if I can find a picture. Like I said, I used to do lots of them. GM was still using that right up until, I'm trying to think of the newest truck I did that had them like that. I think it was an 08 or an 09 Silverado, so it's something they've been doing a long time, since the 80s anyway. Yeah, that's not going to go well. Alright, with everything disconnected, we can see how it comes out. Okay. So after fighting with it for, I don't know, a minute or two, the tranny slid off finally. It turns out the the splines of the input shaft and the end of the collar here where it goes into the pilot bearing in here, they were just seized right in. You can see it's all full of crapola. So that was our problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unbolt the pressure plate here, take the clutch disc out, and then we'll mark and take off our flywheel so that we can put this engine up on a stand so we can get it the hell out of the way. So this truck has 197,000 kilometers. And aside from rust from it sitting, that's what the clutch looks like. So this thing's actually got a really good clutch. The only thing that bothers me about it and why I'm going to change it, I can feel it when I press on it, but it's starting to separate. You can hear that crunching sound, so that's a little concerning. And then you can actually buy a brand new flywheel for less money than I can get this one balanced and serviced and everything. So it's kind of sad, but true. I probably will hang on to it though, just in case I have any balance issues.